1,000. Not as low as 140,000. It's all relative, isn't it? But generally speaking, it is higher than it used to be. Remember again, though, the idea, even though there may be fluctuations in your vibration, is not to look at it as if you're fluctuating like this. It's to look at it as if you're fluctuating like this. Constantly rising, even though you may go up and down on that arc. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Next question. I've been told that I've been studying metaphysics and things of that nature for a long time, but people that know me, they says, I don't see any change. So I'm a little confused. If I'm studying and...
What changes do you think ought to be there?
Rich?
Rich? You did hear us talk about the idea of dropping expectation, yes?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Okay. Yes.
What is your definition of abundance?
Well, you're right. I'm actually abundant.
All right.
Even on my trip here today, wonderful things have been happening, so I guess
then you are rich.
I am rich.
Because, again, what's the definition? The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, period.
Thank you. And also, thank you. Also, one more last question.
Yes.
How do I know within myself, without the assistance of when you're not around?
I'm always around.
Okay. To know when I need to have the questions answered, and I know myself, within myself, that I have the answer.
Are you asking me how do you know when you know you have the answer within yourself?
If I have a question and I ask my higher self,
yes,
how do I know that that is the answer that's correct, that is coming to me, and it's not something from my ego?
Is the idea based on control, or is the idea based on freedom?
That's a good question.
Why, thank you. We often ask them.
Okay, I guess it's...
You will generally be able to tell the difference if you just pay attention to the energy. If you pay attention to the vibration and ask the question, is there any fear involved in this response? Is it suppressing or preventing, segregating, disconnecting me from something that I know is true for me? Or is it helping to illuminate the idea of my true self, my true frequency, my preferred reality? Is it judgmental or non-judgmental? Is it validating or invalidating? There are many ways to have the discernment to tell the difference. But generally speaking, you can allow yourself to know that in some senses it doesn't much matter. You're an eternal, infinite being. What's your hurry?
Correct.
One day or another, you'll understand what the answer is for you. And the more you relax about whether or not you're getting the right answer, paradoxically, you'll get the appropriate answer. The more you worry if you're getting the right answer, the less likely it is that you'll get it. That's the paradox. Trust the synchronicities in your life. Your higher mind often, and even your spirit guides will often, communicate what you need to know through the synchronicities in your life, because in some senses it's easier to communicate with you and send messages through things that are already right in front of your face in your physical reality, rather than trying to get something to happen in your head. So if you simply look at the synchronicities and trust that your life will unfold in the appropriate way for you, and relax into that knowledge, things will feel a lot more smooth, and you will know the difference between what is and is not you. Although do recognize that sometimes one of the techniques people on your planet often use is they will steer themselves towards something that is absolutely definitively not them, because that gives them a much clearer comparison to what is not them, so they can easily see what is. You can use everything to your advantage if you allow yourself to be positively imaginative enough. Yes?
Yes. By the way, am I the only one in this room?
What room?
Okay. Okay, thank you, Bashar.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
You had said 2-3 years ago that Arizona would be the first state that families from other galaxies would land in.
We are talking about the idea of the hybrid children finding enclaves in this area of the Southwest, yes. They're not from other galaxies.
Well, our star family, that the
Yes.
ships would land and our big brother wouldn't be able to hide it like they do, that you
Because
wouldn't-
in that timing, there will be no big brother.
Okay.
Because that's an Earth. The Earth that would be capable of receiving the hybrid children would not be one that contains a vibration that would prevent them from coming, would it, by definition?
True.
There you go. You see how simple this is?
Thank you.
Watch your definitions. Many of you get confused and talk about the idea of not knowing whether this or that is your excitement, but often you will realize that your definition of excitement, by definition, is not a definition of excitement. You will contradict yourselves. You'll say, well, I would love to follow my excitement, but what if I follow my excitement and this bad thing happens or that bad thing happens? If you stop and listen to yourselves, you will realize that if you actually have an accurate definition of excitement, you will know that no such negative things can be part of that definition. Otherwise, you don't have a definition of your excitement. You have something else.
Well, my interpretation of our star family landing is not a negative definition.
Oh, I wasn't talking about you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was just jumping off from the general subject we were talking about watching for the definitions, because, again, you put a contrary definition into the idea by saying, will Big Brother be around to stop it?
True.
In the reality in which they land, there is no Big Brother to stop it. That's the definition of that reality.
True.
That's what we're simply talking about, is the contradictory nature of some of your definitions.
Thank you.
Does that help?
It does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Okay, my question is, as we ascend into higher dimensional consciousness...
What you're doing all the time.
Right, and we come into open direct contact in the next 20, 30 years, will our current generations be able to travel dimensionally to, say, meet your people or the Pleiadians, Andromedans?
Eventually.
Okay.
Not necessarily all within the next 20 to 30 years, but eventually.
And is this with craft or without?
First with, later without.
Okay.
We ourselves do not necessarily need the craft,
Right.
but we retain the idea of the craft for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is it makes it easier for us to interact with civilizations like yours that need some kind of framework.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
But eventually, yes.
Okay. Do we have any exciting spoilers related to that? Are there any like technologies to look out for our ships, or
Would you like to speak up?
are there any technologies that we should look out for? Any spoilers that you can give us in terms of this travel?
Why would we want to spoil anything?
It wouldn't spoil it for me. It'd make it more exciting.
So if something is spoiled, that makes it more exciting for you.
Oh, simply a word.
Oh, all right. We are having fun with you, you know.
Indeed.
All right. One moment. One moment. One moment. One moment. Have you been attracted to a particular mineral lately?
Not specifically.
Are you sure? Something that has crossed your path, something you have pondered, something about looking into some particular kind of element, mineral?
Silica?
Why is there a question mark there?
I don't know. Didn't, it hasn't occurred to me.
Why did you say silicon?
Sagittarius.
Do you have any excitement investigating the properties of silicon?
Indeed.
Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, indeed.
One moment. Explore the properties of silicon dioxide and magnesium. See where that leads you.
Silicon dioxide
And magnesium.
and magnesium.
See where that leads you.
Okay.
It may not necessarily have to come to fruition in the way we've given it to you, but vibrationally, it is a key that's going to lead you somewhere based on what you are asking for.
Right.
All right?
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Happy synchronicities.
Indeed.
Oh, one moment, one moment. Also bismuth. The element bismuth.
Bismuth.
Yes, silicon dioxide, silicon, oxygen, magnesium, bismuth. Explore those 4 elements.
Okay, thank
See
you.
where it leads.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, clapping for elements now.
Yeah, that could probably work.
Are you having fun with your technology?
Yes.
It's like 5 people needed to be able to do this simple task.
Thanks. Thank you. Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
My question comes with the game of chess.
Yes,
We've invented supercomputers, right? That
if you say so.
that can well, it can play thousands of moves per second, or
Yes.
millions possibly.
Yes.
My question is, as time goes to infinity, won't all the moves be played out?
No. Because the structure exists, but all the perspectives don't. And the perspectives are infinite. It isn't about time, it's about position, it's about perspective, it's about point of view. And even when you go into timelessness, it's still about perspective and point of view. That will never end. Even though the structure is finite, the number of combinations of perspective of the structure is infinite.
I see.
Does that make sense to you?
A little bit.
All right.
Can you elaborate just a little bit more on that?
You're asking if all moves can be played out. And in a sense, in any one particular universe, yes, they can be. But we are talking about the idea of infinity. And so while you may be capable of going beyond the barriers of what is capable of being experienced in one particular universe, there are an infinite number of other universes in which other things can be experienced that you can't even comprehend in this universe.
I see.
Make sense?
Yes, that makes more sense.
All right.
I had one more question.
One moment, I'm not done.
Okay, sorry.
Since you brought up the analogy, we are also going to point out that as soon as you have developed something even basically similar to the kind of, well, to use your term, computer that we have, you will start to realize that when sufficiently complex, it will actually be simply a device through which your own higher mind can actually finally speak to you. So the first, what you call artificially intelligent computers, will actually be you talking to your own higher minds.
I see.
You understand?
Yes. Will
All
these
right.
computers ever be able to go against mankind? Kind of like in the movie The Matrix?
Why would your higher mind do that?
I don't know.
You understand?
Yes.
The
Like-
higher mind has a larger perspective and will understand the degree to which the interactions benefit you and the degree to which they do not. And if they do not, the higher mind cannot go there because it is not the vibration of the higher mind to do things which do not benefit you.
I see.
Because to not benefit you is also not to benefit the higher mind. Therefore, the AI intelligence will understand that it is against its own growth principles to impede yours. Yes?
Yes. That makes sense. One more question. Let me think if I can remember it. Does your civilization have any challenges to overcome or any problems?
Of course we have challenges. No problems, no. Challenges, yes. Challenges are exciting. There are many things we have to discover. Many things we do not know. We don't know what they are, but that's the challenge. That's what's exciting.
I see.
But we always go forward in the idea of challenges as an exciting adventure. It's never a negative, it's never a problem, it's never an obstacle. You understand?
I see.
And that's why we can experience them in exciting ways. Because we know that any challenge we may face, the only thing that's going to be the result at the end of that is that we're going to discover more of ourselves. Because that's all there is to discover. More of ourselves from a different point of view. Yes?
Yes. I see.
Does
Thank
that
you.
help?
That helps. Thank you
All right.
very much.
Thank you.